What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Football Chatbox. My name is Ryan, and welcome to the Game Week 23 podcast. We are having a slightly early one this week, and I'm joined obviously by my co-host Rush. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Not so great FPL wise, but very good as a United fan.
Yep,
Probably one of the best weekends we could have ever asked for, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it.
yep, exactly. I mean, uh, like in terms of that game, uh, first of all, I don't think any of us could have probably expected that game to go the way it went. And on top of that, I should say, because I had some comments in terms of like, because I was telling people to bench United defense, to be honest. And given the history, like in terms of like the amount of clean sheets we've kept this season, and the fact that obviously, what do you call, even without the clean sheets, you're playing against a City team with the likes of Erling Haaland and all of that, and you never expected a clean sheet. And then those who had Patrick Dogo, obviously 15 points, they're looking mostly on the bench more than anything. But yeah, I mean, amazing game. Now obviously the next one is Arsenal, so we'll see how they do. I'm not surprised United won against some like City. I'm more surprised the way we did it.
Hmm.
I think the bigger challenge we've seen from this United team is when they play against the smaller teams
Yeah,
and how they perform there. That's the more bigger test compared to the bigger teams, because we've seen it against the bigger teams, like they turn up.
yeah, but also it's also like there's so many factors, right? Just with this new manager bounce and so many question marks. Carrick making a statement with starting Mainu, and just but people coming back from injury and also Afcon, right? So Mbeumo back and Bruno's back. In full 90 minutes. So I think all that put together, compounded with City, also in a bit of a shaky stage at the moment. Even though you expected this to be a good fight,
Mm.
but you didn't expect it to be this one-sided. I think
Mm.
that's probably the best part. I felt like City really had no chance whatsoever, at least none that we could recall. But yeah, great game as a United fan to watch.
Yep.
Um, how many goals did we get overturned as well, which was kind of a bit sad, but also good because it shows that we're capable, right?
Yep.
And even like players off the bench. I had Cunha as an example, came off the bench, got an assist and had a second assist that got overturned as well. So yeah, on an FPL perspective, it was a good game for United players.
Yeah, fair enough. Agreed. So obviously the title is it time to buy Bruno? We'll discuss about as well. But welcome to those of you who are in the chat. If you are new, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we are closing in on 2,250. I think we're like 4 away. We've been 4 away for some time. So if you are new, please do like and subscribe. And welcome to Sam as well. Sam is obviously a Spurs fan. Obviously, the result didn't go the way it went, but today he'll be waking up more happy from all the ITK news about Thomas Frank potentially getting sacked from the rumors. So Spurs might have a new manager ahead of Game Week 23. Obviously, there's Glasner as well, who's gone and done an entire. He's gone and taken the Maresca Amorim handbook of I'm going to slag the owners and hope they sack me now. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But yeah, he's also obviously on the edge as well. And what does that mean to some of our Crystal Palace players if you still have them? That we'll talk about as well.
Yeah,
Um, all right, let's get straight in to the fixture ticker before the fixtures. So this is from 23 to 31, and the reason I added until 31 is because 31 is when we're expecting the League Cup final. So we're probably going to see a blank game week in 31. So if Man City make the final, Man City and Crystal Palace will blank in game week 31. If obviously Newcastle make the final and they beat City, then obviously Newcastle versus Sunderland will be a blank instead. Same thing with Chelsea and Arsenal. It's right now looking like Arsenal more likely to make it. So if Arsenal do make it, Arsenal versus Wolves will be a blank, which means whenever that Arsenal versus Wolves fixture is put, it will be a very nice time to have triple Arsenal.
yep.
And then obviously if Chelsea do make it, Chelsea versus Everton will be a blank. So few things to kind of consider, especially for those who are looking to wildcard. I mean, from the looks of it right now, free hit 31 might be the play as things stand, or even potentially dead end into 31. All depends on how many City Arsenal players you have if they end up
Mm.
blanking. So that's where we
Yeah,
stand.
I think Arsenal triple up is going to be good, regardless of when and where they have their double game week. Probably just with the doubles as well. I think it's just like there's a good chance, but it's not confirmed yet. So you wouldn't like break your team,
Yeah, no.
just to get that just yet until you get a bit more news. But I don't think we're too far off.
Yeah.
Getting more news anyway.
Yeah, like I wouldn't go triple up on Wolves or anything just yet, even though they have seemed like they've improved over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't do that just yet. Bournemouth obviously top. Now obviously they've lost Semenyo, Clivert is injured, so Tavernier is like the talk of the town. Obviously they haven't played yet. Their fixture against Brighton, that's tonight. So we'll see how they do in that one. I'm hoping they don't score because I have Verbruggen in goal. I know you also have Verbruggen in goal. So we're hoping for clean sheets more than anything, but we'll see. Anything that stands out from this or?
Not really. I think the Bournemouth players is interesting, right? I think it's a wait and watch. So I think tomorrow morning's game would be interesting to see who are the new options post Semenyo, whether it's Tavernier or is it CRYvCHE. That's definitely one to watch, especially because a lot of people are looking now to bring in the likes of Palmer and Bruno, and you need some enablers, right? So then that's where I think those two would definitely be something to consider at some point.
Yep, fair enough. Obviously, United they're at the bottom four, but that's mainly I think the Arsenal fixture just next after. But I think after that the fixtures are not too bad from an attacking point of view.
Oh yeah, it was great. Like to be honest, I think one of my potential transfers I wanted to make, which I didn't make, was either Cunha to Bruno or Cunha to Palmer, both of which would have worked out perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And my other one was a Gehi to Chalobah, which again, a lot of potentials, but anyway, didn't do any of them.
Fair enough. All right, let's look at this week's fixtures. So, didn't do Gehi to Chalobah, but City are obviously the highest clean sheet percentage this week against Wolves. Gehi could potentially be playing in a City shirt against Wolves this week, and I've got him as well. So I'm hoping that come game week 23, it's the blue shirt. I see the blue shirt on there, so I can start him. Hopefully he plays. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
But what do you rate? What do you think of City's defense now that they have Gehi? Do you actually reckon it's a big bump up now, and they'll still
should improve. It's still not as strong as obviously because they're missing both their centre halves. I think Gehi would have replaced one of those centre halves probably. Might have replaced Ruben Diaz, and it would have been Ruben Diaz and Guardiola potentially. So it's still a bit of an issue. So I think it'd still be but they won't have to play Max Allen, who they've been playing, the youngster. He was pretty poor against United as well, to be honest. Got subbed off at halftime as well, I think. So I think that is why I'm kind of like, okay, I think Gehi most likely walks straight into the team.
Yeah.
Is what I'm expecting. Will they keep a clean sheet? I don't know. We'll see. But it's against Wolves. Obviously, Wolves have been better, but from a scoring perspective, they're kind of still struggling. Although defensively, they've kind of improved.
Yeah.
However, they do have their youngster Mane, who's another one to kind of keep an eye out for. Obviously, if Wolves do end up doubling, that's where people might be going potentially. He looked lively in the game against Newcastle as well, even though that was a nil. But yeah, I mean, we'll start with City because they're obviously the main discussion point when it comes to transfers. I know people with 4 City players. I would have been 4 City players, but I've already made my transfer this week. I went and got Bruno straight in for Phil Foden, who hasn't been performing the last few weeks. But there are others who obviously had 4 or even 5 City players. Some people had Semenyo as well, who have become so they've got Semenyo, Gehi, who are now going to be City players, and they're going to be probably going into this game with 5. Potentially, I've seen one team with 5. But even then, I had to ask the manager again on the deadline stream whether he's still keeping Foden or whether he's looking to sell Foden. What do you think?
I think look for this game week. I don't know. I mean, the Wolves game looks good on paper, but I just feel like the way City's been playing, and like you just said, Wolves is also not looking like the worst team anymore. It's not something I would rush to buy. I feel like if you've got City players, you can keep it, and the 5 City players or the 4 City players could be a big differential. If Gehi starts, but I'm not it's not top of my priority list in terms of buying.
No, not buying. Would you sell? Is the other question. Foden and all.
If it's not priority, if you've got other 5s to put in your team, I would focus on those first. But if you have a transfer to use, and if that's a question of okay, do I get rid of one of my City players? Potentially, yes, but I would just wait closer to the deadline just to get some information on who's starting.
Mm.
Like, I think if you have Foden, I think you just play one more game and then you get rid of him following game. Wolves at home is a good fixture, and just after they got destroyed by United, they'll be looking for a bounce back game. I think they'll come back strong in this game.
Fair enough. Now, obviously, it's Champions League week as well, which means they'll have a fixture this week. I'm not sure who exactly they're playing again, but Semenyo obviously will not feature for Manchester City in the Champions League because it's still the group stage. So the squads have been registered for that already, which means he
Yep.
can't play until the group stage is kind of like done and it goes into the knockout stage. They are playing Bodo Glint. I mean, it's not
Who the
not the hardest of fixture, but like yeah. So
10-0, like
yeah,
etc.
maybe. So obviously we'll have to wait and see how that goes and who starts in that game as well.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to see on Foden as well because I mean there was like news circulating that they saw him leave Old Trafford with like a broken hand, like something around that. I mean,
That's right.
but then Pep said that's not the reason he subbed him off. So was it tactical? We'll have to just wait and see, to be honest.
To be honest, if I've got Foden and Semenyo in my team, I'm leaning towards selling Foden.
Yeah.
I would keep Semenyo. He's looking good. He's playing 90 minutes in a brand new team, and he looks the most like attacking as well. Where he's looking to cause an issue on the right with Haaland in the box. So if I had Semenyo, I would actually start him. I'm keeping him for a bit.
Yeah, fair enough. And one thing to add, we spoke about the defense. Now, Guehi, as those who had Guehi now will have him in a City option, but you probably also had a City defender in like Nico O'Reilly potentially, which means now you might have double City defense. Although Nico O'Reilly has been getting rotated recently,
He
so
has.
he is someone that I will eventually look, probably even after this game, might look to sell. To who? I mean, Chelsea we've spoken about. They did keep a clean sheet, but they didn't look that great from that clean sheet. Sanchez was amazing, but fixtures wise, they're probably the ones who stand out if you buy a
I
defender.
think so. And I think Chelsea, like, it kind of makes sense, right? They got very easy fixtures. I think next 4, next 5, I think it's pretty good. And even Crystal Palace next week, I would say, especially with their defense. I watched their highlights from the last game and they look terrible.
Yeah.
So I think Chelsea's next 5 fixtures is probably the best run of fixtures you're going to get for any team. For Chelsea, definitely, but definitely for any other team, I reckon, in terms of fixture difficulty. You got Palace,
Yeah.
West Ham at home, Wolves away, Leeds, and Burnley. Like, I mean, I'll be looking to triple up on Chelsea in this run.
That's as good as it gets, to be honest, those set of fixtures. Now, I guess the question is which Chelsea options? Now, on the deadline stream, I was suggesting the goalkeeper because a lot of people like don't have the best of goalkeepers, and it's either you go rare or you are looking for some other keeper at this moment. And like Sanchez just stands out because in a team that's kind of not scoring as much as well sometimes, he got 3 bonus points this week as well because of the amount of saves he ends up making as well. So I don't mind him, but then like which other Chelsea options?
So I think it's all team dependent, and how much money you've got and who your priority is. Like, I think probably the midfield options it's either one of the two, which is Palmer or Enzo. And I think that's where it's a question of funds. Like, you've got the money to do Palmer with your other midfield and forward options. And then Enzo, where he seems to be also playing now with in Resnier in like a bit of a deeper role. Still got an assist last game.
Even that assist was like a deflection assist.
So I am actually like it's comforting to see that Palmer is now finally starting and playing a lot more minutes.
Yeah.
He's one I'll be sort of targeting. You always want the penalty taker. You want the more attacking player out of the two. So I think in midfield, I think Palmer's like probably the number 1 Chelsea option. Minutes dependent, and hopefully there's no injury niggles. Other couple of interesting options, like in defense, you mentioned Sanchez, but I think even Chalobah is a good shout. He is he's the second highest scoring defender in the game.
Yeah.
He manages to get DEFCONs, and like we said, this is an easier run of fixture. So if anything, this is the 5 weeks you would be testing out a Chelsea defender.
Only thing is he's more expensive than an O'Reilly or a Guehi even, like because he's like 5.5, I think.
Yeah, that's right. So funds dependent, and I think look, in terms of other Chelsea defenders, like you're not going to get that guaranteed start. So it's really like, are you willing to invest the 5.5 in him for the for this upcoming run?
Mm.
And I think he'd be worth it. I don't think he's that heavily priced because you probably have the likes of Gabriel or Timber as your other option, and there are some other cheaper options in defense you can kind of work around, and same
Yeah.
with midfield as well, right? So I think that's where we talked about the likes of GroupE and Tavernier is tool to enable these luxury transfers in defense as well.
Yeah, true. Fair enough. So obviously we'll have to kind of wait and see. I mean, but like
Yep.
Palace have kind of chucked it. Like the manager's given up. They're losing players. Obviously, lost Guehi. I think they're losing Mateta as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Potentially, I would be surprised. They
Yeah,
looked horrendous. Like that game was just like really bad highlights.
yeah. So like this is the time to like if you're getting on Chelsea options, this is the time. It's just that like Enzo and Palmer. Enzo got a lucky like assist, and then
Yeah.
Palmer. I didn't watch the game, but people say Palmer wasn't that great.
Yeah.
So he was kind of lucky to get the pen, because Kelleher just like took down Liam Delap. Now,
Yeah,
obviously,
he just gave the penalty intentionally.
yeah. Now, obviously, Joe Pedro started and scored, but Liam Delap was coming away from an illness as well. So
Yeah.
there is like maybe if you wanted a striker, there could be someone there. Just again, rotation, trying to pick out one is slightly at the moment. We're not sure exactly who's going to be the one.
I think sure. Like I actually owned João Pedro for quite a bit early on, but that was before there was any competition for
Yeah.
him. And even then, I didn't really feel great about him, just how I felt. And now with the competition, I know he scored this game, but he hasn't been consistent over the last few weeks or
Yeah.
few months, really. I just think unless I see any sort of injury or anything that can boost his value, I'd be staying away from him for the time being.
Yep. Fair enough. All right. So obviously that's Chelsea. Crystal Palace just avoid. If you had now, obviously those who don't have Guehi, they still have probably a Palace defender like a Richards or a Lacroix or something like that.
Yeah.
Keep for now and find a way to sell eventually, or just wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I think you'd keep for now. I mean, they do have some decent fixtures on paper coming up. It could be a rotation based. You might start them some games, you might bench them some games. They got Burnley at home, Wolves away, game week 26, 27, Forest away next week. So I think it's not a priority sell again. Is their defense going to be much worse now that Guehi's not there? Yes, and you saw that last game. So, the picture ticker probably all will now change in terms of how good Palace's defense is really. That's something to consider. Definitely not in the buy category. And I know a lot of people are kind of leaning towards Munoz as well when he's back from injury. I don't really fancy that. I think for that price point, you'd rather go for Chalobah.
Yeah, fair enough. I probably agree. All right, so that's the Chelsea Crystal Palace match. Should we go back into order, or how? What's? All right, let's go West Ham versus Sunderland. West Ham with some important points against Spurs in a relegation battle at this moment. Obviously, a lot of the players got DEFCON. I'm still not picking their players, to be fair. It's just because consistency.
I wish I had your insight, Ryan.
Yeah,
Unlike me,
you're stuck with two West Ham players. I was looking at your team. I was like, how the hell did this guy end up with two?
Well, I think a few weeks ago, I was looking at a striker transfer. Bowen looked really good, and the fixtures looked good on paper. And to be fair, he has been playing 90 minutes every single game. But I mean, watching some of the West Ham highlights, and he just not. It just feels like he doesn't want to play. He just feels really lazy now. It just doesn't seem like he's making those good runs. And like Somerville looks good. He looks probably the only like attacking player. He's actually willing to like score and do something. But the rest, like West Ham, is just such a slow offense, and I just regret it now. And there's no point regretting an FPL. But yeah, I mean, he'll definitely be in my sell category at some point.
Yeah, fair enough.
I had Matheus Nunes over Paqueta because he was cheaper. He was not injured at the time, and then again, just to target these fixtures. The one time he actually scores, he's in my bench.
Yeah,
so.
I don't. It is what it is. You can't do much about that, to be honest. Obviously, they put. Now, here's the thing. With these odds, I should say, we're taking this on a Monday, so I don't know if it has like updated since the weekend's results. Because I don't know if 30% chance for West Ham clean sheet. That's very unlikely, to be honest. I also think Man United at 1.01. Maybe after Carrick's resurgence might slightly change a bit more as well. So that's something to consider. We'll have to wait and see how it changes over the week. So, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like I think if you're looking at any FPL options over West Ham, I would just say
No.
stay away.
Yeah.
Like even though they've got some decent fixtures, I mean, occasional fixtures like one every 3 games, it's not worth the risk.
Yeah.
And Sunderland home is not as easy as it looks, and so is Burnley away. Just the way West Ham's playing, I just don't have comfort.
Yeah, fair enough. Now,
Yeah.
Sunderland, on the other hand, playing well.
Mm.
Their defense is what you want as an FPL team compared to their attack, to be honest. Robin Rufus in goal, obviously. Again, another keeper option that anyone wanted, where it's like cheaper, will get you points. Sometimes might keep clean sheet, sometimes not, but will get you
Yep.
save points at least. And I have MCIvWOL, who I've been very happy with that sign in, to be honest, because he's been getting, even if he didn't get clean sheet, he gets like DEFCON, sometimes gets an assist and here and there. So I'm happy with that. But like Sunderland, mainly defenders that you kind of like looking at.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been really following Sunderland too closely, but yeah, I think the likes of McKeely and Alderete and
Yeah.
have been delivering, right? Just quietly. So
Yeah, they'll slowly take over and
yeah.
good to have in your squads. Yeah. Burnley versus Spurs. Now, obviously, Spurs with a 35% chance of clean sheet here. The question remains to be seen as to who the hell is going to be Spurs manager if Thomas Frank is sacked. And Sam has said West Ham are terrible. They just played Dr. Tottenham. Yeah, I mean, so are Burnley going to be playing Dr. Tottenham? Probably not, because Thomas Frank seems like he's going away. So that means Burnley are not
Yeah.
going to be. I mean, they played well against Liverpool. Burnley, they kind of like got a few chances against Liverpool.
Oh, about Dubravka, he got his like 4 save points.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, Dubravka is going to get you save points. The question is, will Spurs improve? Now, Sam is like, we are losing. So
Yeah. I mean, Burnley away, hopefully they don't lose because that would be embarrassing. But after that, the next 4 is pretty tough, actually. If you look at Spurs' picture, they got City, United, Newcastle, and Arsenal. So not the run that you want to really bring in any Spurs players for.
no, if anything, you just sell or target. To be honest.
I mean, I'm staying away unless I'm hearing any double game week news later on in the season. I'm not even getting there. Like, to be fair, I think Porro looked good. Apart from that, the rest were nothing special. And Romero, they got a bit of a freak goal, but yeah, like the attack is just garbage, right? Richarlison's now injured as well, so unless you see Solanke come back and playing full 90 minutes, which he only came off the bench, right, last game.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. I haven't been. I've just been staying away from Spurs so much that I've also not been following them too much.
Yeah, so he came off the bench, but like I'm just not leaning towards this Spurs attack or anyone in that matter until you sort of. I mean, they've been pretty unlucky. Their key players have getting injured. Madison's injured. Kulusevski's injured. Solanke's been injured now. Richarlison's out. So Kudus is also injured. Like they're a mess at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the thing. Apparently, they're looking at getting Xavi as manager. We'll see. If that happens, might be something to consider again. Then we might relook at them. But until then, we'll wait and see.
I just don't have any comfort with the fact that all these star players are out. I know they signed Gallagher.
Yeah. But even then, they'll still. I think the Paulinia is out as well now.
Yeah.
So there's just too many injuries and everything.
It is. Yeah.
All right. So that's obviously Spurs versus Burnley. We move to Fulham versus Brighton. Harry Wilson, where are my points? But it didn't appear.
Yeah. So unfortunate, right?
Yeah. Now, obviously, I have a Bruggen in goal this game as well, playing against potentially Harry Wilson. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe I just start Dubravka against Spurs. I don't know. To be honest.
Yeah. Maybe.
Now, the thing with Fulham is they'll have their players now obviously coming back from AFCON. So you have the likes of Iwobi and all back, Chukwueze as well. Chukwueze, does he play Senegal? Is Chukwueze Senegal? No, he's Nigerian as well. So yeah, okay. So both of them, Iwobi and Chukwueze, will be available as well potentially for this game. Should improve Fulham. Now the thing is, Harry Wilson was playing in the 10 in the last game. Not really great. If he plays wider and then manages to drift in, is when he's better.
Yep.
So we'll see what Fulham do with those players back as well. It should improve their attack. in
I think
general.
so too. I'm not like I know they had one game where we just expected too much now from a team like Fulham.
Yeah,
But they lost the Leeds. Okay, well, they'll bounce back, I think, and I think at the price point you've got Wilson, he's a good hold.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm in not any rush to get rid of, or in that matter also buy any Fulham players. I think if you've got Wilson, it's an easy hold.
Yeah.
Um, Same with Raul Jimenez as well. I think if you've got him as your third striker or even a second striker, I think he's a decent hold. Just depends. Unless there's someone else that really,
Yeah, with Jimenez, because there are a few other candidates as well. Because CRYvCHE Junior, you mentioned,
Yep.
people want to go Mane from Wolves for future fixture later down the line, maybe.
Yep.
I mean, on the other side, in the same fixture, Calvert-Lewin potentially is still like not a bad choice, to be
Mm.
honest. But like, yeah, I think Harry Wilson at his price tag, like there aren't that many options at like that 5 million price bracket. You look at the players you can go and get, it's either him or Tavernier at this moment.
Yeah, pretty much those two.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying as well. I think it all depends on your team value. Like I feel like if you had an option of having all those players, and if it's either a Raul versus a DCL or a Krupi, I'm leaning towards Raul. I think he's got the pens, he's got the he's on the better team, call it.
Mm.
I know he hasn't. If you because we're a bit biased now because you're comparing him over Harry Wilson, but
Yeah.
him standalone, he's still been delivering, especially with Muniz' injury, right? So I think that's the angle I'm looking at from.
Yeah,
But
fair enough.
you're right, he's not like a big bonus point magnet or anything. He's just occasional goals and
Yep.
this.
If
It's a
ever
bit
you need a
boring.
third striker on out to play, yeah, fair enough. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Brighton, obviously, I mean, picking a actual Brighton player in attack is a bit more trickier because they haven't been consistently performing as well. That's the other thing. So I'm just happy with my Brighton defense at this point, even though
Yeah,
fixtures, I don't know what the
yeah.
fixtures.
I mean, like Brighton's interesting, right? I think BRUNO has been an easy sort of buy and hold at
yeah,
one point.
because he gets
They've
points.
got decent enough fixtures coming up, right? It's not the hardest, it's not the easiest. It's decent enough where you're happy starting some Brighton players.
Yeah.
Would like to have an attacker with the likes of Matoma or Welbeck, but you just don't know, like
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
always
I
that.
had Welbeck. I was happy with him because he was returning, but then he started to get like rested in terms of minutes.
Yep.
And then he was a bit more harder.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
And they
they're
started
still a good
playing.
team.
Yeah, true. They are. They start playing. Who's playing? Was it like Jorginho Ruto? Was he playing up front?
In the last game, let me have a look. Because Ruto has played in the upfront previously as well. Well, the last game they played was the FA Cup against United.
Yeah.
And in that one, obviously, Welbeck played and Ruto was in the 10.
Okay.
But the game against City, Ruto was the one who started up front.
It started. Yeah.
And
So I
then,
don't know. I feel like it's a wait and watch. I would like to bring in a midfielder at some point again to depending on our budget and also the fixture run. And I do want to see something a bit more positive from Brighton before we consider bringing them in.
Yep, fair enough. All right. Talking about teams with something to offer, Bournemouth versus Liverpool. I mean, the fact that I bought in Ekitike and he's blanked versus Burnley, he's blanked versus Wolves as well, I believe. And who else did I got him for? Let me see. He blanked versus Leeds, he blanked versus Burnley, and he got only 5 points versus Wolves.
Yeah.
I mean, not exactly what I was looking for, but obviously we'll have to see now with the Bournemouth game how it'll do.
To be fair, he got pretty unlucky in the Burnley
Yeah.
game. I saw a couple of how he should have had like a goal or two.
Yeah. He had a good number of chances. So,
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He did.
so I'm still happy to own him, but it is his fellow teammate Florian Wirtz who's changed in form, doing better right now.
He is.
So is he someone to consider? Because Liverpool's fixtures, okay, the team as a whole are not performing as like their form has been poor, but their fixtures have Bournemouth, Newcastle, Man City, Sunderland, Forest, West Ham, Wolves, Spurs, Brighton. From an attacking point of view, those fixtures I would say are pretty decent.
Yeah, look, I think it's all depend. I think if you're telling me right now, say Salah doesn't come back,
Oh,
and
that's not the
you know,
question. Yeah, I don't know.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And if you tell me if Salah doesn't come back and Liverpool have these good run of fixtures, who would I choose? You're looking at either, and also sorry, Isak's out as well, so you're looking at either Ekiteke or what?
Yeah.
The fact that Salah has to come back now, and then you don't know which Salah you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's another
Whether it's
problem.
going to be Salah 1.0 or the Salah he was right before he went to AFCON and this season Salah. So I'm just interested in seeing how that will all affect how Liverpool play.
Yeah.
But weird as it is, like last few games, he's been amazing. Like you watch his highlights and he's just been he's looking like a Coutinho at one point, just dribbling by himself and
Yeah.
just like
He looks
power
good.
shots.
He looks better.
He looks very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Definitely.
he's 8.3. He you do have Newcastle at home and City at home coming up as well, along with Bournemouth away. It all depends, right?
Can wait. Yeah.
He's not a priority buy.
Yeah.
I think, especially if you have the likes of Chelsea and United as a focus point now, but definitely an interesting option. I actually feel like people might miss the boat on him. I feel like he's going to be one of those players where you might wait until a certain point to buy him, but he might have already got a lot of points until then.
Yeah, you might miss out some potential points. Yeah, that is possible. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Again, so this is why we had to kind of wait for Salah as well, because you never know, right? Like you said, it could be the Salah of like last season, and then you might go, oh, you look at like the fixtures after Newcastle and City, you see Sunderland, Forest, West Ham, Wolves, Spurs, Brighton. You're like, yeah, okay, I don't mind some Salah on that one if needed.
Definitely not.
But again, we'll have to wait and see what exactly.
I mean, Ekitike still, I think I brought him in for those really good fixtures as well, and he delivered for me. And I sold him just before he got injured, so I got a bit lucky in terms of that. But he's a very good option. And I think, Oh yeah. And I think the other option we're talking about was Szoboszlai, and like he has been interesting. The fact that he missed the penalty.
Yeah, a penalty that they probably shouldn't have got in the first place, but
yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I probably would avoid Szoboszlai because, like you said, right? If Salah is back, that means Szoboszlai goes to right back. That's just not great as well.
No, it's not great at all. That's the thing. I think that like the Liverpool have a lot of good potential. They're still in the the top four race, right? So they will play, how they're supposed to play. Salah being back also helps, like Frimpong going back to where he's supposed to play. He's being used like he's like a world-class winger, and he's not. So it'll be interesting to see how that all I feel like Liverpool are missing that extra spark.
Yep.
And if it is Salah, then it'll be interesting. But yeah, I mean, it'll be all. I think for Liverpool, it's definitely a wait and watch. Like, there's no rush to buy, even though Wirtz and Ekiteke look really good. It's definitely a wait and watch.
Yeah, fair enough. I have Ekiteke. I'm happy to keep him throughout this run, to be honest. But in terms of buying, like you said, I probably wouldn't go just yet. Just wait and see how they do. In terms of selling, people have Van Dijk. Probably time to look into selling very soon. If not this game week or even the next game.
Interesting, right? Like he's hasn't even performed in his like DEFCONs and
no. Like
he's been
people bought for the potential. He hasn't delivered at all.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I would sell, especially if you guys don't have Gabriel as well. I've seen a few teams with no Gabriel just yet. I'll probably sell to get Gabriel, even though they're playing Man United this week.
And I was actually in the deadline stream. We talked about the Gabriel protected captain. And I was like, should I listen?
You asked for it.
I know, I did, and I didn't.
We said words. We said Gabriel.
Yeah, I just didn't feel that hard to captain a defender.
Yeah, see, I agree with you, because even I also didn't like. I could have done that as well instead of going for Haaland, because I the only reason I didn't put it on Ekitike because I wasn't certain of the minutes. But it's just like we're not wired to captain defenders.
No, if I had Ekitike, I'm definitely captaining Ekitike as well.
But like the thing is, like this guy, like Gabriel, is just like we'll get to Arsenal later. Yeah, but like he's just insane. So yeah, all right. That's Bournemouth Liverpool. Let's go to Brentford versus Forest. Brentford created a lot of chances against Chelsea on the highlights I saw.
It's just I saw Shada just not shooting the open picture, and he tries to pass it. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, exactly. So I mean, like I have Thiago. I still don't mind Thiago against this Forest team, to be honest, because I saw Arsenal create quite a lot as well against Forest, to be honest. especially after Saka came on, it was like a lot more. So Sharda, obviously playing the same position as Saka, could, if he plays on that right, could benefit as well. So I'm hoping Thiago can benefit from that, whether Sharda decides to pass it or from a rebound something. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I mean, Brentford options, I still don't mind if you have like Thiago and all to play in this win.
Oh yeah, I think I'm keeping Thiago. He's the second highest goal scorer in the Prem at the moment. There are some decent fixtures, like there are some hard fixtures, but you also don't have anyone else to really. There's no one clear cut to swap him out to. Unless you really want to downgrade both your strikers to a really cheap forward.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that just yet.
Exactly. So there's no one really calling out your name or saying, "Hey, bring me in." And I think also with the likes of eventually, if you want to fund other moves, and at that point you can probably downgrade him. But I think at this point, there's no one really.
Unless you want
in a
like
rush.
3 premium midfielders, which to be honest, the only premium midfielder that has been performing so far has been Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
Like even Saka hasn't been value for money.
The only other player I was initially looking at, but now it's kind of a bit too late, but it'll come back again, is Watkins. He in game week 27 is when I think Villa's fixtures turns. If you go back to your ticker.
Aston Villa, Newcastle, Brentford, Bournemouth, and then 26 Brighton, Leeds, Wolves, Chelsea, Man United, West Ham. Yeah, Watkins not too bad. I mean, Morgan Rogers, people have gone there now itself, to be honest. Like last week, a lot of when we were looking for midfielder replacements, and people are still looking for midfielder replacements. Rogers was up there as well as an option.
Yeah, he would be. And I think, in terms of the forward spot, that's probably the only player you'll be looking to upgrade to. But then again, he's 8.8 million.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot of money you're going to fork out. And he hasn't been really consistently giving returns in the Prem at least.
Yeah.
So it's
and around that time you might want Ekitike back potentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plus you don't know what doubles as well, what's gonna happen.
True. Forest avoid. That's it for now.
Simple. Move on.
All right, moving on. Obviously we touched on Watkins and Aston Villa. Newcastle versus Aston Villa. Malik Chow, I'm happy with him. Although Newcastle defensively still can be sometimes suspect. However, this is a home game, so that should benefit them a bit more. Bruno Jimenez, I think, is still a really good player to have in your FPL teams. This might be one of the last few better games for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Maybe because after that they've got Liverpool, Brentford, Spurs. I mean, Brentford, Spurs could be decent as well, but then they go for Man City, and then he goes Everton, Man United, Chelsea, Sunderland. Even though those are green on paper, those are not necessarily easy fixtures as well.
Easy fixtures. No, I agree.
Yeah. And on top of that, you have to consider the Champions League fixtures, and they have a horrible run. I'm going to tell you now itself. Because they also have the second leg against Man City. They're playing PSV this week, and then the next Champions League fixture is against PSG.
Oh my God! Yeah. They're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. So this is some tough runs in the middle of these fixtures. So that's something that
you're right. They got like 5 fixtures in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So have to be careful with Newcastle in terms of the players. But WHUvSUN started, didn't get any returns. Obviously, there's that whole question of like WHUvSUN Visa. We don't know who's going to play. Maybe he's probably a striker you can look to sell.
Look, I think in terms of Newcastle attack, I've been a not so proud owner of Gordon for the last few weeks. He's been one of my duds.
I saw a stat that said he's failed to score in open play for the last year.
I'm not even surprised. But interestingly, I think I had some hope when I watched them in their last cup game.
Yeah.
And Gordon looked really good, right? The FA Cup and the EFL Cup. He looked good. He's creating chances. And that's why I didn't sell him this week. I was thinking about, okay, I'll hold him for one more game.
Fair enough. It's against Wolves. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's on penalties as well, right? So it's hard to like get rid of someone. And actually, in fact, captained him as well this week.
Okay. Fair enough. You probably won compared to the other popular captains.
Well, I mean, 1 point.
Yeah.
Big whoop. But defense, I do agree. I think Malik Chow is good. Hall's been okay as well.
Mm,
Um, definitely not in the buy category. If
no,
you
no,
have
no.
them, keep
Just
them.
hold. Don't buy
Yeah,
anyone. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. All right. Aston Villa, obviously, I think Morgan Rogers had some chances in the game that he played. But I probably wait this week.
Yeah, I'm
I
still
don't.
not a fan of Rogers. I know he has had his fair share of
Yeah.
returns at 7.7 million.
Yeah, it's
Like, I
gotten a
think
bit more expensive now. Yeah.
he's also like I don't know. I don't know if he's worth that much, to be honest.
I prefer Declan Rice over Morgan Rogers at that price.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. He's actually cheaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's go to Declan Rice and Arsenal versus Manchester United, because obviously, so I watched the highlights of the Arsenal game, and when Saka came on, and now obviously Sam has asked, what do I do with Mr. Always Injured Saka? I don't know why Saka didn't start. I thought he should have started, to be honest, but we were speaking to Roy, and then Roy wasn't sure why exactly. Maybe resting. I mean, they're top of the Champions League table, playing against Inter. Yeah, maybe it could be a slightly trickier game, but I thought the league was more important.
Yeah.
But when
Maybe
Saka
they
came on,
thought Newcastle's, I mean, Forest is the easy fixture,
yeah,
probably.
that probably they probably thought that, and they just backfired on them. But when Saka came on, he looked very lively as well. And there were instances where Saka crossed it to Rice, and that was saved by Sills. And there was one instance where Rice crossed it to Saka and was saved on the line as well.
Yeah.
Also. So, I mean, I own both of them going into Man United. I don't know what to expect, but like so far, Saka hasn't been proving, like, for the price range, he hasn't been doing too much that we expected. But he looked lively against the Forest game, so I don't know.
That's the thing. I feel like he's kind of the player where it's hard to sell because
Yeah.
he's on a good team, firstly, on a very good team. And they got a good run of fixtures coming up. Unfortunately, they have too many games happening around as well. That kind of makes it a bit harder. But I think once these Champions League and up games kind of settle down, and leading into the back end of
Maybe.
mid 20 weeks and stuff, I think he'd be a very, very good option. So
True, but then we need to, because we have now obviously there's potential Cole Palmer at the same price bracket. That if you wanted to go and buy Cole Palmer, assuming he like gets onto really good form, then Saka might be the one who makes way, right?
I think so. I think that's definitely. I think where if you look at Bruno, Palmer, and Saka's third in that list, right?
Yeah.
Of priority. So, and we're talking about premium, so it's got to be one of them. Really, you can afford maximum two. So
Yeah, that's the thing.
number 3.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So like, we'll have to see how he does against. I mean, I probably wouldn't sell against United because you never know. Again, it's at Emirates and not at Old Trafford. If it was Old Trafford a bit more, it might be slightly different.
Yep.
But because it's at the Emirates, you have to favor Arsenal in this fixture. Gabriel is just a go by. Like that guy has opportunities to score goals from set pieces. So,
He's insane.
yeah. Timber is obviously the other popular defensive pick, mainly due to just the minutes. And I'm not against it if you guys want to double up on defense with those two as well, to be honest. Anything else to add on Arsenal? No?
No, not really. I think, I think the double game weeks will be an interesting one to keep an eye out on. I think this was a good weekend for Arsenal to capitalize and go ahead like 10 points, but they're still ahead, right? They're still very good spots. So I think it'll just be a matter of time where, Rice, I think, will probably give us points at some point, in any form. So I think there's no big rush to sell players. If anything, you're bringing in players where you're planning for these doubles.
Yep, fair enough. United, on the other hand, obviously Bruno Fernandes, probably the best premium midfielder you can get right now. Regardless of fixture, DEFCON, assist. 1 assist alone is enough for this guy to get 3 bonus points because he does so much. And he could have had more against City as well, to be honest. So that's why I've gone and bought in, because I'm like, just.
Oh, so you're bringing him ahead of Arsenal game?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind, because I was going to be like, because I had Foden who was falling in price, and I had Bruno Fernandes was rising in price. So I had to kind of make that as well, because I might have been potentially priced out on future moves as well. And I won't be surprised if he rises in price again before the Arsenal game. And it's also because like he like, if you look at Declan Rice as well, right? The routes to points. Rice has a lot of routes to points because set pieces, open play. Bruno, the same thing. Set pieces, open play. And if Bruno plays in the 10, he's way better than what he's in the compared to the pivot that he used to play. The only thing is, can United put out the same consistency that they showed against City in the Arsenal fixture? That is what we have to wait and see, because that we haven't seen and we don't know.
Yeah, I'm not expecting the same result.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going into the Arsenal game as optimistic as I was going into the City game.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mainly because you got a solid, probably the best defense in the league up against now, compared to these under 21 kids who are the centre backs in the City game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in a similar boat where I am thinking about bringing in Fernandes. I chose not to bring him last week as a swap from Cunha to him. Because I said, okay, if I'm not going to bring him last week, I want to bring him after the Arsenal game.
Yeah, fair enough. I couldn't afford the Cunha to Bruno swap straight away. That is why I had, like, it was, if I had done Phil Foden, then I might have been able to. But I was willing to keep Phil Foden because he's had a good history against United in terms of performing. That's why I kept him. But when he went off at halftime and the way United performing, I was like, okay, Arsenal game, probably he'll get 2 points. I don't mind. If he gets lucky, he nicks an assist as well, potentially. And then maybe he gets like 1 bonus point if he lose even, to be honest. Because he does so much, he can get a bonus point even if he lose, if he gets an assist. So I was happy with, okay, I'll just get him in. And then after that is when you kind of want him, right? So I was like, okay, I'll just get it, do it in a week early and see how it goes. That's kind of what I did.
Look, I think it's not a bad shot because, I mean, Bruno Fernandes is going to be a hold now from next week onwards, especially the fixtures turning. Where he was playing was pretty much like striker. Like, he was pretty much on with MBUvMO. So if they keep playing that similar lineup, even Dogu could be an amazing option.
Yeah, that's the thing, because he's like 4.2. I think he went up. Did he go up today? I don't know. But like, he's still very cheap for a defender. Yeah. The only thing with Dogu is he could also be in a situation where some games he doesn't play, depending on the fixture. Right. Because if he's going to play left mid, then he has to compete with the likes of Cunha, Mason Mount, Sesko as well, who didn't start. So that is something we had to consider. And then obviously Ahmad and MBUvMO were pretty good as well. So like, they could be options as well, potentially.
Exactly.
Just have to wait and see.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. All right, final one for the this game week. Everton versus Leeds. Everton somehow managed another clean sheet, 3 points.
I don't know how they keep doing it, man. Honestly, I just thought I haven't owned a single Everton defender the entire season, and I'm beginning to regret it now.
Pickford, we should have just gone for the start of the season in terms of like, we knew this guy was going to keep clean sheets. The guy has been keeping clean sheets and getting bonus points and save points and everything. Tarkowski with DEFCON. I mean, Leeds have been better, but because it's Everton at home, I think Everton still should be the more favored option here.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. I think all the non-owners of Everton just hope this will stop, but they just keep delivering. It's like clean sheet after clean sheet or DEFCONs and
it's just insane. I mean, James Garner is playing really well as well, but the thing is, he'll get you DEFCON almost every game because of the way he plays. He got like 29 DEFCON, which was apparently the highest ever. And people went and recalculated, like some stat sites went and recalculated past as well. And this would have been the highest ever DEFCON. 29 DEFCON in that last game.
Is he playing the similar position to Dewsbury Hall, or is it different?
No, he's playing a more deeper. Dewsbury Hall would have been like that, like a 10. And Garner is like the pivot, which is why if United need a midfielder to buy, they should probably go and recall James Garner.
What about Casemiro? I don't know, we skipped him altogether. But...
yeah, he's been amazing as well.
He was,
doesn't should have scored. I don't know how he didn't score, but like but yeah, I like Everton defense. I mean, the thing with Everton's fixtures is let me just quickly have a look at Leeds, Brighton, Fulham, Bournemouth, Man United, Newcastle, Burnley. I mean, it's like a mixed Arsenal, Chelsea. Like there are fixtures where you might have to bench. Some fixtures you probably start. But if you have like a Tarkowski, you probably play every week because of the DEFCON as well.
Yeah.
So at minimum, you might even get 4 points, even if it doesn't keep it clean.
I think if you have an Everton defender, I'm in no rush to sell them. Like they've got decent fixtures. I'm just in the state where if I was to consider buying it now, I don't know if I'm that desperate to buy
Yeah,
them.
fair enough. Yeah, I probably agree. Like,
I don't think I will at any point this season. Actually, I'm just looking at their fixture
oh,
run.
yeah, true.
Like
I
it's
mean, it depends. Like, we might end up in a situation where some of the other defenders are not doing as well, and you go, okay.
But if you look at their fixtures, like their next 5, next 4 looks decent-ish.
Yeah, but then
But
after that, it gets a bit more harder.
very
Yeah,
tricky. Yeah, you got
yeah.
Newcastle United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Brentford, Liverpool. Like
Yeah.
that mid.
It's not good.
Yeah, I don't know. Like good riddance to Pickford, but at 5.6 million as well. Like
Yeah.
it's not cheap.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, that's basically it. Leeds, obviously, just Calvert-Lewin. I mean, they have some of the defenders, but I still never fully trust Leeds for defense.
Look, the one player I watched the highlights and he kind of like came up the radar for me, and I'm sure you'll guess.
Jaden Bogle?
You know, no.
Oh, is it a
James
defender?
Justin.
James
Justin.
Justin. So was it right back? I don't know. Both are right back. To be honest, like it's either him or like Bogle who play right back. I don't know. Like they keep swapping because Justin played. Did he play centre half or?
Yeah, I think they played 3 in the back. I think so. I think he
Yeah.
must have been the right centre back.
Yeah.
But I watched the maybe it's not the last game, the highlights before, and he was looking very good. I think it must have been the Newcastle game or the United
Yeah,
game.
they played
He
the
looked
3 back
good.
in this last game. Yeah.
Yeah, he looked good, and he's got the 3 bonus points as well last game. 3.9 million. Right, that's firstly
You really
an
want money?
enabler.
Yep.
And also the other problem was, I mean, like, I thought he was going to be benched when Rodon was back, but last game Rodon played.
Yep.
And also Justin also played as well.
Yeah,
They both
yeah.
played 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So he's actually on my radar as an enabler, as a guy who plays pretty much 90 minutes now. And he also can give you the odd return. In fact, I think he returned in the cup game, if I'm not wrong.
So like if anyone's looking to like, get that Palmer money, or you want the funds to be able to keep Saka, and also, or even like in the future, if like Salah ends up becoming an option, like James Justin, maybe could be an option. The thing is, what are like Leeds' fixtures? Like,
it's not the worst.
Everton,
it's not
Forest.
the best.
I mean, you play him in certain fixtures. That's basically
exactly. That's what I'm saying. At 3.0, you don't expect him to play every game, but yes, he scored in the last FA Cup game they played.
Yeah,
and that's where I think I was like, oh, this guy's still around from the Leicester days.
I mean, at this moment, I'm benching 5.2 Nico Riley every week. The last 3 to 4 weeks in a row, I've benched Nico Riley. I might as well just have more cash in the bank and have James Justin, who could go up in price.
And I think that's probably what I was saying. He's probably even a prime candidate for your wildcard teams at any point, right? Like, and that's where I'll also be considering him. Just thought I'll put the name out there. I'm sure he'll come up in conversation. If he plays 90 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely put that on my watch list because I'll keep an eye out now for him as well. Captaincy, Haaland? Or where do we stand for this week, captaincy?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, poor guy, right? Like, we all own him. I'm happy for him to now start scoring. Last game, I didn't want him to score. Now I'm like, please score.
Because like he hasn't been scoring in the last couple of weeks, which is the other issue. I mean, the other thing is Semenyo is another potential option, but like it's just that Haaland with pens, you're hoping that he can get something.
I think so. Look, as I said, this game is going to be a bounce back game as well for City. So, who knows? They might have CRYvCHE back, and I think they'll do well. So I reckon Haaland will be the best option.
Yep. All right. Teams, Rush, this is yours. You got Verbruggen still to play. Obviously, Gabriel, CRYvCHE, and O'Reilly. CRYvCHE is obviously going to get subbed for you, and Diego Dalot's 5-pointer is going to come on. Wilson, Cunha, Declan Rice, Gordon, Bowen, Haaland, Thiago, and then on the bench Dubravka and Mario Fernandes and Esteve as well.
The bench looks much better than my starting lineup this week, unfortunately. But look, I think there's probably a couple of moves I could have done, which I now regret not doing, and that's probably where this game week could have looked completely different. But I was actually waiting to see the likes of Palmer, and that's why I intentionally didn't make any transfers this week. In saying that, though, I feel like I need to. He'll definitely have some transfers this week. Cunha was an interesting one. I think he could have had a much more different game if he had that second assist. It could have been nicer.
Bonus as well, especially when a lot of people sold.
Exactly. That's where I was hoping for as well. But it doesn't matter. I'm not too upset. Gordon's just been a dud for me. He's been unfortunately a bit disappointing ever since I brought him in. But apart from that, like Bowen will go at some point. Defenders will change at some point. Majority
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not.
just O'Reilly. The rest are not too bad.
Yeah,
Overall. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll see how you do. But rank obviously is looking good for you at the moment. Overall rank, so it's not too bad. But you're more of
Yeah.
the mini leagues.
Nah, even the overall rank. I mean, like, there's definitely like a lot I could have done this week that could
Yeah.
have been better. But we live and breathe and
Yeah.
see what happens.
Fair enough. Meanwhile, this is my team. I got Verbruggen, Malik Shah, Mukiele, and Gabriel. I
Nice.
mean, my defense is the only thing that's returning at this moment. Declan Rice, Saka, Wilson, Foden, Thiago, Ekitike, Haaland. On the bench, I have Dubravka, Guehi, O'Reilly, and Weaver. I've had Weaver for so long since his toe injury, and he's just like 4.9. So I haven't had a need to like sell because I've had like other transfers I made. And I did make another transfer, so I sold Foden, and Bruno Fernandes is in, which means I have Saka, Rice, Bruno, and Gabriel playing against each other. I don't know what I'm going to expect, so we'll have to wait and see. But ideally, hopefully, Guehi is a City player and available for the game against City. I'll have to wait and see. If so, I will be starting him and potentially O'Reilly. I'll be in a very interesting situation in terms of what defense I start this week.
That's my concern as well. Like, I don't know if I should sell because I know I'm just worried about a bit of price drop for O'Reilly. That's one thing.
Yeah. I think
And
he
also
already
the
had a
fact that
price
if
drop.
he's gonna,
I don't know.
is he?
I don't know actually.
Yeah, okay. Maybe he has.
But like, yeah, that is a concern for me as well. Like O'Reilly's price dropping. But
Yep.
it's just the Wolves fixture now. I don't know whether he'll start. That's the other issue.
That's the
Yeah.
other question I have as well. Like, is
Yeah.
he going to be starting? If he's starting, I'm inclined to keep him. But just with how Pep's been playing and the fact that he didn't start last game didn't give me any comfort.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And also with where he's playing, how do they line up? Like, does that impact him? When did Aitnuri come back?
He's back. He was back
He's back
alongside
again.
EVEvLEE and everyone.
Yeah, okay. So then that's also another factor to consider, right?
Yeah, that's the other issue. So I have to kind of wait and see. We'll see what the Champions League squad is like.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what Pep does. If he can, I don't think we're going to get any leaks as well because it's like not the early kickoff as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think the fact that like once Aitnuri is back and starts his 90 minutes and stuff
Then
as well, like
issue.
that will change.
Yeah. Like this is the last week for O'Reilly. I think next week I'm like if it. The only reason I'm keeping him this week is the Wolves fixture.
Yeah.
And then I'm selling in 24, to be honest. Like whether that's for a Chelsea defender or most likely a Chelsea defender, to be honest, because of the fixtures, or someone else. Yeah, it could even be Dogu, to be honest, in 24 if I really or like James Justin to free up cash. So I have Guehi, Malik Chow, Gabriel, like and Mukiele. Like I have 4 defenders who can play if needed.
But it's like the likes of like say if we get news that Dogu is starting every week, he'll become a very, very good option, right?
Especially at left wing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So good. But the problem is Cunha's still around.
Yeah,
it's interesting that he started with Dogu, but Dogu has been playing much better. He's been playing really well, so he deserves to start. It'll just be interesting how Carrick decides to play him.
Yeah, true. We'll wait and see. So yeah, that is basically it. Thank you, Rush, for joining. Make sure, obviously, if you guys are new, to hit that like and subscribe. Content for the week tomorrow. I was supposed to do team selection. I'll push that to a Wednesday instead, so we get like Champions League reaction as well. And then obviously I'll do a wildcard video because some people are still looking to wildcard because the team's in a bit of a mess. So might do that tomorrow instead. Anything else to add?
No, really. I think it'll be interesting next couple of weeks with the Champions League and the other cup game fixtures, and we'll get more information on the tips and double game week. So yeah, just something to keep looking forward. This is probably the most interesting time of the season now. A lot of decisions, a lot of things can go wrong, a lot of things can go right. So we'll wait and see.
Yep, indeed. And shout out to those who joined as well just recently. Gav, Muhin, Karan, and Ezra as well. But thank you all for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you haven't caught this, if you just joined in, you can watch this back because it'll be all available on YouTube as well as your audio platforms as well. And thank you to Rush as well. And we'll see you all later.
See you guys.